Lesson 17. An Old People's Home. A. Read the text below. Mariam is a student of class 6 in a government school in Rajshahi. Her mother works in an office and her father is a businessman. Mariam is very fond of her aunt, her father's sister, Suraya Begum, who lives in another part of the same town. On Fridays, she often goes to her aunt's place and spends time with her. Suraya Begum is a retired school teacher. She is a widow and lives alone. Her husband died 3 years ago. Her 2 daughters are married and live with their families abroad. They talk to her over telephone and come to visit her whenever they get time. Suraya Begum has a lot of free time. She spends her time in reading books, watching TV, visiting friends and relatives. Sometimes she writes letters to her old colleagues. But nowadays, she often gets bored of doing all these things. She wants to do something more meaningful, something that would do good to others. She is planning to establish an old people's home in her locality. She knows some elderly people live all alone. They have no one to take care of them. They often feel helpless and miserable. They need care and support. As part of her plan, Suraya Begum starts to visit families. She talks to a number of people. She tries to find out the problems of elderly people in their families. She understands that old people are lonely and often they become sick. They have nobody to look after them. On Fridays, she often takes Mariam with her on these visits. Mariam has already become very friendly with some of the old men and women. They all love Mariam very much. She tells them about her school and friends, her studies, her family. And they often tell her funny stories, fairy tales, and ghost stories. B. Read the following letter. Suraya Begum needs many people's help to make her dream come true. She sits down to write a letter to a friend who was her colleague and who now lives in the next town. Dear Sharmila, how are you? I'm writing to share with you a plan that I have. I know some old, physically weak and lonely people in our town. Some of them are quite well off and some are not. But they all share one common thing, that is, they live alone and have no one to take care of them in sickness. Sometimes they don't have anybody to talk to. I have a plan. I want to set up a home for the old people where they would live like a family and we can be a part of that family too. I need your help because I know that together we can do a lot. Write to me soon. I will wait eagerly for your reply. Your friend, Suraya.